Well, I'm going to have to do something a little different here. So I actually had two packages of flipper windlace, and one I think was T&N. The other is Danchuck. And the Danchuck one is actually wedge shaped, so it's thicker at the front. Now this is the one that I just mocked up on the car. I had the flipper on the car. The problem is this is putting a lot of tension on that rolled edge of that flipper right there. So when I open the door, this is kind of slow to come up because, or slow to close too, because there's so much tension on that, because this is kind of stiff. This one's real flimsy, and this one's not wedge shaped. This is just flat. The Danchuck one, all the screw holes lined up, but this T&N doesn't fit for crap. So there's a mounting hole, so if I line that up, that one's off, that one's off, that one's completely off, that one's completely off, and that one's completely off. So that's awesome. Another great quality reproduction. You can't have the perfect piece. You always end up with parts that do not, either there's a problem with one end of it or the other. So I can get it about right there, and it's kind of close. I'll just have to do a new hole up here. But what I'm thinking about doing is actually gluing this to the flipper right here. So this will permanently be glued to that. And the reason I'm thinking about doing that is because this, when it's just put in there with tension between the two, it's very difficult to get this even. So it gets wavy on there and it looks like total garbage. So if I glue it on, I can kind of put it where I want it. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Now I did run into an issue when I put it on the car just then, and it had me scratching my head. So the flipper, the back, wouldn't close all the way down. It was very close, like 1/8 of an inch from closing up. So it was out 1/8 of an inch. What it ended up being was, you can see right here, this square cutout in the flipper housing. That spring and this round piece is part of the plate. When you open that, it comes up through that. So it was actually hitting the rubber. So I had to cut this out, and then after I put it back in there, it closed evenly. So that was an interesting thing to notice. That has to go up through there clearly. So on your windlace, make sure that's completely open for that to go through. So what a mess. Now on 55 ones, they have a third spring right here, and it's the same as this one. So you would have to cut out two of them wider, possibly. I'm working with 56 and 7 flippers on my 55 because it's a 2-spring setup. So right now I'm just kind of trying to figure out exactly what I want to do, and what I'm thinking about, instead of using this stuff here, I'm thinking about just using aerosol spray glue on here, contact cement, because I want this to stay put. I don't want it to be wavy. I don't want it to be ripply. I want it to be nice. But anyway, when I tightened the first and second one, or the ends up, basically, when I tightened these up all the way, then I went in and I lightly tightened these up. And these had to be almost completely off the flipper in order for that back to close. So even the slightest little bit of tightening on these center ones, the center 4, was causing the rear flipper not to go all the way in all the way. So that right there is a problem. Now from the factory, when I tore one apart a long time ago, my first hardtop, on the back side of it in butyl, it had two number 8 washers, or number 10s, I don't remember what they were, but there was 2 washers stacked up in the center ones. I think there was just one out here, but there was 2 on them center ones, double stack of washers. Because what they're trying to do is take that space up and keep these straight with the roof being crowned. That's the biggest problem, is when this is fully tightened, it causes that flipper not to close at the back. So when I loosened these off, my problem with this weather stripping was it was just loose in there. You can move it in and out. So driving down the road or whatever, this weather stripping would be moving in and out. So I've got to, basically I'm just going to go ahead and glue that windlace on there. That's going to ensure that that bead is straight on there, and I'm happy with it. But also I can put 2 washers on the top side of it and then put my foam tape on there and lock it all down. So it's quite a mess, and I'm getting into the custom side of it, getting away from original, doing it differently than the way original stuff was done. But I just want it to work, but it has to look good, you know what I mean? All right, guys, so the flipper is on, it's adjusted, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm not done. So what I have done is I've got the flipper screwed to the roof, and I've got them exactly where I want them. And it's working, it's operating correctly. When you open the door, they pop up. When you close the door, it shuts. It's quiet for the most part, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty happy with it. It looks fantastic. It closes when you close the front, it closes at the back, which is really nice. Now the trouble I had was exactly why original had washers up here in over these center screws, and there was washers sandwiched in between the roof and the flipper. The factory, when I took my original hardtop apart, it had no washers at each end. So this was just flipper to the roof, besides the welt cord in there, or the welt rubber seal, and then, or windlace seal is what they call it. They had a single washer hit this one. They had a double stack here, single washer, nothing. So basically what you're doing is trying to get that crown in that, and that's all you're doing. I ended up having to do the same thing. So I double stacked the ones here, or in the center, which is somewhere in here and here. So there's 2 washers, then a single washer, then nothing. So double stack, single, nothing. And the flipper works awesome. So now that I have it working, when I close the door, now I'm going to go in and mess with these, because if you put these in and you screw these in, there's one of these goes in the front and then one of these goes in the rear. If you try to bolt everything on there all at one time and get it done, you will literally mess with this thing for hours trying to figure out why nothing's working correctly and shutting good. So I wanted to make sure this was dialed in first. So now I'll pull out the front screw and I'll screw this in, and then I'll close the door and see what happens. So I will mess with that until this is done and fitting good, because these may need to be ground down. Then I'll mess with these and do it until everything starts closing good. So it's basically process of elimination, but I've got the basic setup done. And now it looks really complete. So I'll get the other flipper done tomorrow, get it on the car, and then I'm going to color sand and buff a hood. So the hood will be coming up next after the flippers. Car's almost done, guys. Okay, so now it's down to the front rubber and the rear rubber for the flipper. Now this one right here goes in the very rear of the flipper, just like that. See how this has an open end to it? That end faces out, so that goes in there for this side. So this is the right hand side flipper rubber right here. So you'll use your very rear screw. So I just took it out, it's down there, so I'll be screwing this on and it goes up in there. So this one is your front. Now this is known not to fit very well, and you're supposed to grind on it and do all kinds of stuff to it. I'm gonna try it first without grinding anything and just kind of look it over and check it out and see how it goes. But so this goes, if trying to get it to where you can get a good visual on it. So this is the right hand side one right here. I'm holding in my hand. It has one big hole right there. That's the one the screw goes in. This forward section glues in. So you put a little weather strip adhesive up here, and then this screw holds it on. But that will go in just like that. Them 2 square tabs face out. So I'll have to remove this screw and put that in there like that. And this is the one that I fought on my first hardtop, and I finally ended up just giving up on it. And I got no problem with doing that again, because it's, you know, not like I plan on getting caught in a monsoon in this thing anyway. And they always tend to leak a little bit anyway, even after you get all new seals and everything in. But anyway, that has to go up in there like that. And I'm just going to try to grind a little bit at a time until I get it to fit pretty good. But I'm not looking forward to it, but it's got to be done. But I'm going to go ahead and do the easy one first. I'm going to put this one in first. All right, guys, so luckily I had some butyl here. This is some 3M strip caulk. It's just some strips of sticky stuff, and it pretty much stays sticky. That stuff was used extensively on these cars, especially a two-door hardtop. Now on this little seal back here, this little rubber bumper up here, so I got it put in there. Now when I first put it on there and I tightened this screw down, it deformed this and had this at an angle. It was actually angled this way because that got tight, and that metal insert in that deformed it to pull the back down. The other problem I ran into is my rubber seal right here. My vertical seal was smashed up against it, so it wasn't really fitting right. So I went in there and I trimmed this out with scissors down and up to clearance for that. Now in the corner behind this rubber seal to that stainless steel track right there, I put a little thing of butyl up in there. So there's butyl sandwiched between this and this for just to kind of help to make it a little bit more watertight. It may not necessarily need it, but I did it anyway. But anyway, I had to trim that vertical seal to fit up in there. But now that seal is on there. And the way I did it was, I'll show you on the other one. So after it didn't fit the first time and it deformed it and actually curved it and made it set at an angle, I took it back out. It has a metal liner in it, and I over-bent it. I bent it like that. It's supposed to be straight, and I bent it. And then I put the screw up through there, and I put a washer on it on the back side. So that washer helps to keep something from getting deformed because it puts some support in it. So this one's for the other side, but I sandwiched the washer between the flipper and that little rubber bumper. So now that piece is on, and then I tested the door and made sure the flipper worked, and the flipper still works, so it's not binding with anything or anything like that. So I'm good to continue on to the front, and that's where I'm at now. So I'm doing this like a process of elimination. I put the flipper on and got everything to where the flipper worked first. Then I went to putting in these aftermarket little rubber bumpers and stuff. Because if I'd have went in there and just put it all in together, I would have had all kinds of problems and I wouldn't have known which one was causing the trouble. So doing one thing at a time, closing the door and checking the flipper operation, it allows me to know that after I put something in and now it's not working right, that what I put in is causing the problem. So now I've got this guy here. Now I've already mocked this up and it did the same thing. It has a metal flat piece of sheet metal that's inside of this, and it deformed it. So when this was up there, it was all squished in and all kinds of goofy looking. So I took it back out, I straightened it back out, and I've got a washer on there. And now that washer will give it support and hopefully not do that. But the other thing that I had to do was I opened up that hole the next size bigger. So I just went through my drill bits. I found a drill bit that fit in there perfectly. And then I just grabbed the next one bigger and drilled it out a little bit bigger. And then I wallered it lengthways, slotted it this way just a little bit. Because when I put this in there, it was actually smashed really hard up against all the A-pillar and was causing it to, if you watch that, when I push, see how it's kind of deforming it like that, curving it? That's what it was doing. So anyway, I slotted it so I can get it to fit up there pretty good. Now, I took some butyl and I smushed it up in here. I didn't show this a while ago, but I put that butyl up in the corner of the body up here. It had it in there from the factory, but after I, took it up, car all down the middle, that I'd taken it all out. So anyway, I put butyl up in there, and then I put the flipper on. So this is pretty squished up with butyl up in this corner. Now I've got a little bit right here on my scissors, just a little bitty bit. Now this front stop, or whatever this is called, it goes in there just like that with them two square tabs going out. You're supposed to glue this and this, both of these, to the A-pillar here. I don't want to do that. I don't want to glue it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put butyl here and here, and then you know, kind of squish it a little bit with my finger, and then screw this on there, and then I'll go back and squish it some more with my finger together. So that should make a pretty good watertight seal and not mess with glue, because that 3M weather strip adhesive is a mess, man. It's stringy, it's just a mess to work with. So anyway, if you can see this little square piece right here, see the way this is shaped like a backwards L, this has to go in between this flipper and the A-pillar right there. There's a little bit of space. Now there's space back behind there. See where my finger goes? Back behind it? That's where that square piece goes right there. So you've got to try to force this up in behind that flipper. Now the problem I'm running into is I don't have enough space to get it squished in there. But if you take one hand, I'm holding the camera with the other, so I would normally have the screwdriver, but I can move this flipper out and it gives it enough space to get it up in there. So when I move that, see how that flipper's moving out? So I will stuff this up in there and then get it started. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so after tightening it up in there, you can kind of see the way it's got it kicked over right there. And there's nothing I can do with it. I mean, it's just an aftermarket pile of junk. So I don't understand really what this is for. This one fills up the gap from the end of the pivot right there for the flipper door. I don't know what the heck that one's for. It makes no sense. Shouldn't even be there. So I kind of feel like this needs to be taken off, but I don't know. So I got butyl behind this flap, and I got it up in the corner there and a little bit behind it right there. And it's just little bitty pieces of it. And I stuck it up there and then put that piece in and then smashed it with my finger, and it's bonded to it pretty good. So I mean, it's just, this is the way they're made. That's pretty much all you can do with it. But these are supposed to be ground down and stuff, like halfway or something. You're supposed to grind them down to make them actually work, but mine's working, so I'm good with it. I'm just going to leave it just like it is. Pretty much what that does right there, hanging down that low like that, I believe is to go across the top of this maybe. So you're going to get a little bit of a seal across that maybe. I don't know. I don't really understand. No, it's actually below it. So I don't know, man. I don't know what that piece is for. It's one of them stupid parts that I don't think it needs, but I didn't have to grind it. Looks like it's going to work to me. So I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm tired of messing with it, and it's just the way it is. You get aftermarket parts and nothing's going to be made like it was originally, so you're kind of stuck with what you get, but just going to have to live with it, you know what I mean? But it's good enough. It looks good standing here. But the flipper works. It closes at the back and it does what it's supposed to do. So now pretty much half a day or maybe longer on this, getting this all set up and done, but I'll take it, you know what I mean? One flipper's done. There's only one left. But anyway, that is going to be it for my flipper series. I'm going to go ahead and edit this video and post it, and this will be the end for the flipper. So I'm not going to video me doing the other flipper and installing it and do all that stuff. One is enough, you know what I mean? Thanks for watching, guys.